How can you be happy as an atheist when you believe that you will cease to exist?
I do not know what will happen, and to tell you the truth, I don't really care either. These are my thoughts.
I believe that it's done and dusted.
How can you truly love your mother or sibling if you believe you will perish and cease to exist?
We're going to die anyway, my friend. What happens after doesn't really bother me.
Still, don't you have burning questions, a determination to find an answer?
I don't think you really can answer this.
Islam gives us a formula for this. What Islam says is basically, what do you do for a living? Are you a student or do you work somewhere?
I'm the regional manager of a private company.
What is your belief?
I consider myself a deist.
I'm a student, I study medicine. I'm somewhere between atheism and deism, probably leaning closer towards deism.
So you believe that there is a creator?
Yes, I definitely believe there's a creator. In the end, nothing comes from nothing. It just can't.
Do you believe that there is an afterlife?
I don't think so.
I'm a musician. I believe in a creator, but I have trouble putting a name to it.
I'm a tradesman, but I'm also a musician.
Okay, so what is your belief?
Well, I call myself a deist. I think there is a God. Yes, there is a creator, but I don't accept religion.
Do you believe in an afterlife, or do you think that there isn't one?
I really don't know what'll happen after we die. To tell you the truth, I don't really care either. These are my thoughts.
I currently live in America. I've been there for 5 years.
What is your belief?
I'm an atheist, so I have no faith in anything. As far as I can remember, I've never believed in anything. I grew up in a Muslim household and my caregivers were Muslims. They would say things like, leave the building on your right foot, say Bismillah as you leave. Despite growing up in such an environment, I became an atheist.
You know, it's usually Muslims who get asked questions. So we decided to ask our atheist and deist friends this time. We have 2 questions. The first question is, as an atheist, do you believe that you will not exist after death? So what is the purpose of your life?
Let's say I die today. Will people say bad things about me or good stuff after I've gone? If they say good things, that means I will live on.
But if I cease into nothingness when I die, then what good is it if they praise me? Isn't there something more to this? Shouldn't there be a bigger purpose?
I would say that if you leave a good name, that's all that matters. I don't think you need to think any further than that. The purpose of life is to be a good person, to leave a good name as well as something good for those you leave behind. I also try to be a good person in my community, so this is an essential purpose too.
My purpose in life is to live as a good person and die as a good person. I would want those I leave behind to say, he was a good person. He spent his wealth charitably, so basically living a good life.
Let's say you really left a mark on people. If you're going to die and the people you leave behind are also mortals, then doesn't that defeat your purpose in some way?
I believe that there's nothing much you can do.
You need to strive and improve yourself.
To be here, to hold on tightly to the here, and to be here. For example, when I first got a taste for the stage, I held on so tight to it, and I didn't want to let go. For me, this is the meaning of life. To love, be loved, to be happy, to meet more people, get to know them, socialize, and be active. My main goal is to make music again like I used to, but this is an immediate priority. I want to be on the stage again at the end of my life.
So here's a second question for you, buddy. What is the source of happiness in your life? What makes you happy?
I feel happy when I make the people around me happy. Well, the first thing is having a comfortable life. The second is getting out and about, sharing with people and chatting. For example, I'm afraid of being alone. Not that I don't like being alone, but when there are people around me, when I can share things with them and chat, I feel happier. This is exactly what happiness means to me. Music, because it allows me to express myself and get to know myself. This is one of the sources of my happiness.
There are many orphans and animals that live on the street, so I try to help them as much as I can.
Like I said, to die on stage, buddy, if I died and even one person listened to one of my records, a cassette, a Spotify recording, or any kind of music, that would bring me so much joy. I hope this does happen to me when I die. Assuming there is life after death, I'm not sure.
Let's take an example here and rethink the answer.
Yes, of course.
Let's say that you, your family, and all that you love are in the middle of the ocean in a gigantic ship, and the situation is the ship is sinking. In such a difficult situation when everybody is running around trying to find a solution, what would your greatest aim be in this situation? It would be to find a way out. For example, we would look for a boat or for someone who could get us out of there. All other objectives would be secondary to this. If someone declared, well, my greatest objective is to paint the ship's post a different color, or mine is to enjoy the view, these would not be reasonable reactions.
Well, yes.
And secondly, if the ship is about to sink, a person's greatest pursuit for happiness would be to save oneself and one's family. If the ship is sinking, I need to find a way to save myself, along with all others on board to achieve happiness. Or if someone came around and offered a cinema ticket, would I say, oh, this is my favorite movie and I think I found the formula to happiness?
Of course not.
Because we are confronted with a very serious situation, we need to focus on solving this particular issue right now, and then we can think about other things. If not, I cannot find true happiness, I would just be kidding myself. I would like to point out that our world is like a ship sailing through the universe, and when we consider our world, we realize that it will eventually sink like the ship in the example, and it is sinking. It doesn't matter if this happens today, tomorrow, or 60 years from now. We and all of our loved ones are on this ship and it will sink. Shouldn't our primary purpose be to find out, is there life after death? Is death equal to non-existence? Are we going to drown and perish when this ship sinks? Am I going to a place where I will lose myself and all I love? We need to find out. This should be a person's greatest concern. This is our purpose for the second point, which is finding the formula of happiness. These two are related because if you, your family, and your loved ones can't find an answer to what will happen after death, let's say you were looking for it, just like the boat, and if you think of death as non-existence, then your greatest happiness would be to figure out how to be saved from it. Otherwise, nothing else can bring you happiness. For example, you said to be good to people. It may be a good thing to be good towards the people on the ship. I have no objections to that, but it can't be the true source of happiness. If I believe the ship will sink and then find a way to save them, I will be truly happy. I'd say that helping people in this sense would be a great source of happiness. Because if I make the people on a ship happy, but that ship is eventually going to sink, then the greatest happiness would be rescuing them from their fate of sinking.
Well, yes, you're right.
We can't hide from death. Death is always there. We're going to die regardless, buddy. I do not know what is there, and because I do not know this, I say, what lies ahead does not concern me. I will see that after I die.
Still, do you not have lingering questions? Like I have to solve this, and will I see my friends and family in the hereafter?
I don't think you can solve this completely.
Islam provides us with a formula and a solution to this problem. On the basis, Islam says, man has many needs. He requires hundreds of things just to stay alive. And to be able to meet even one of those needs, there must be a being that sees and hears all of his needs. For example, when we look at soil, we see that it is lifeless, non-conscious, powerless, and dry. However, we can see that it produces 100,000 different types of vegetables and fruits. So there must be a being that meets our needs behind the veil of soil. He both sees us and has mercy on us. He knows us. He has knowledge. Islam says it must be he who creates this produce if he spreads 100,000 dishes in front of us just to satisfy our taste buds. Of course, he can meet our need for eternity, our need for life after death. If he meets the smallest needs of men, then is it possible that he won't meet his greatest need, which is the desire for eternity? Is it possible for him to hear the buzzing of a fly, not the sound of thunder? Our need to be with our loved ones in an eternal world will also be met. So it says, heaven and the afterlife really exist. This perspective provides us with the most significant purpose and a solution that brings great happiness.
Well, this is all very well said.
Okay, I have nothing to say against this. Look, I'm saying that I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't care either.
It is possible that death might be a footstep away.
This is completely true.
Then maybe you should chase after this moment to the very end. If you say, I'm going to perish, how can a person truly love their mother, siblings, or prospective partner? Because if they're going to perish, wouldn't this love bring you pain?
We're all mortals. We all know that everyone is going to die. I don't think about non-existence. The best thing to do is to live each moment with fulfillment. I don't think about the other world. I want to spend time in this world, with my loved ones, embracing them and loving them.
In our daily lives, our purpose and goals seem hard to reach. We can't pinpoint happiness. Will I be happy in the future? I will, but it seems like I will never be as happy as when I was not aware of anything. So no matter how much I contemplate or try to solve this matter, I will not be able to find a complete answer. That's why I try to live in the moment rather than pondering the meaning of life or how it will end. That's why I don't think about the thing you said, the other side of the cliff. If I had to make a list of priorities today, thinking about the other side of the cliff would only be about the 10th on that list.
This was a nice conversation.
I think so too. I really want to thank you for your friendly manner. I thank you too. It was a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
See ya.
It was a pleasure.